IGDC day 3, the last day, and we are coming to a close. And I'm thinking something very special for you. I'm Rahul Sehgal. I'm a game designer, and I'm the curator of the careers track. And for the longest time, I have an Instagram, a YouTube, and I've been in this field for 10, 15 years. And most questions I get are from game artists, right? There are a lot of game artists who reach out to me because they've been to an institute and they've done a few years, of course, and everyone is interested in making video games, and they're like, how do I join the game industry? What do I do? Please have a look at my portfolio. I don't know what to do. I've been applying. This talk specifically, I have invited one of India's most amazing artists, Saurabh, Jethani, who is a character artist with many years of experience, of very high quality work in AAA games. I've invited him to talk about portfolio. But what is portfolio? Portfolio is essentially a window into your skills. So you can't just build an awesome portfolio if you don't have the skills, right? You can't just conjure a beautiful portfolio out of somewhere. You have to build the skills and then you have to build the portfolio. And this talk is going to be talking about what a good portfolio looks like for game artists, which is also very connected to the skills, right? So enjoy. Please welcome Saurabh.
Hey guys, this is working fine, right? Alright, a huge crowd. Are you guys sure you're in the right place? I was not expecting so many people to show up, but I tried to do my best. Okay? So I'm Saurabh Jethani. Where's the first slide? Anyway, so the talk is going to be about building art skills and your portfolio for the video game industry. What I want you guys to understand is that art skills. Click on the previous one. Oh, this is the one, right? So the topic is building art skills and a portfolio for the Indian game industry. What I want you guys to understand is that art is not limited by geographical manner. If you can make great European architecture, you can very well make Indian architectures as well. Okay? But we'll be curating this talk to discuss a little bit more nitty-gritty about Indian game side of thing and how the business works. Now let's have a quick introduction. That will be me. He might look like an ugly cousin of me, but that's me 1 year ago. This is what 1 year of game development does to you, right? It makes you lose your brain, lose yourself, but it turns you into a wizard. Very nice wizard. I have collective 5 years of experience working as a character artist for the industry on studios based in Canada, India, Belgium, and Denmark. Those studios will be Hellbent Games, Little Red Zombies, Larian Studios, where I was part of Baldur's Gate 3, that became my very first ship title. And then, as my last venture, I was part of Slipgate Ironworks. I did my game art diploma from Think Tank in Vancouver, and from last 4 years, I've been teaching for them as a supervisor and a mentor. I also did 2 years of educational journey with CG Master Academy, where I curated a class about character texturing for games in Substance Painter, and now I'm also a part of Gamer 2 Maker. Thanks to Rahul. Over here, this is where I'm starting my own venture, where we have our own Triforce. In reality, this is a single entity, but we have split them apart in 3 just for aesthetic reasons, that's why not. So we are starting with Sphinx Artisan Street, where we provide art services to offshore clients. We have Karmaratha Studio, where we make our own intellectual properties and video games. And then the Dragons Academy, where we train and educate the up-and-coming generation of Indian game artists. Our games. So we're making Mahabharata as a video game, right? Retelling the story, retelling the epic one more time through the medium of video games. We have Leo and Nora, which is my personal favorite, based on my 2 cats. I love animals, you can see that on my shirt very clearly. And you can play the prototype over here at IGDC. You can find us near the screen around those blue tables. We'll be demonstrating that right after this talk. And for more of our titles, you can look us up at kaarm.art. That's our website. You can know more about us and what we are working on. Okay? So all of this is basically to add a little bit of credibility to say that, hey, I know what I'm talking about. I have been there, done that. So in the world of video games, I know exactly what I'm doing. Alright? So let's get to the main topic. Today, we'll be sharing some insights on skill building and creating a portfolio that speaks to the game industry needs. we'll discuss the practical, actionable approach for aspiring game artists across you guys. So the first thing is, what is game art and what is a game artist? What actually it is. Oh, thank you. So, you're the creative force behind the visual element of a video game. You create everything that people see, not what happens on the back scene. You create, design characters, environments, props, textures, and animations. It can range from stylized fantasy realm to very hyper-realistic world. It's just a spectrum. It's the same color, but spectrated into a multiple positions. For the sake of conversation, we are going to divide our talk into two sections, character art and environment art. Character art can include everything from humans, animals, creatures, their hair and fur, their ringing and their animations. Environment can include everything from props, weapons, vehicles, terrain, etc. Just as a quick disclaimer, for the duration of this talk, we will only cover production art. So if you are interested in concept art, unfortunately, this talk isn't about that. So why game art is for you, why you guys are here, just going to give you a little brief about that. So you thrive creative environments and love solving visual challenges. So if you have ever related to the kid from Tare Zameen Par, you're a visual solver. You get excited about the idea of creating entire world from scratch. So very similar to playing God, but not in your own head, instead manifesting that through the medium of art. And finally, you enjoy working on projects that require both artistic vision and technical skill. So if these 3 points resonate with you, you guys are at the right place and at the right talk. So let's understand the video game industry, what the current scenario is. We are going to start with the current landscape. So the current landscape of Indian game industry is consistently evolving, and this IGDC is a very good proof of that. Growing demand of high quality art, the demand is consistently growing with so many games being developed, both in-house and internationally. Now we are also gaining international attention. Our games going to GDC, all of these international expo. It's a very nice way for that. The opportunities for you as a game artist or artist would be creating your original art, games, and intellectual properties. Do understand that it's a very daunting process and it will require you to learn multiple more disciplines other than art, but it's very exciting. The easier way to make video games would be collaborating through studios. Getting employed, getting hired, doing freelance for them, or just collaborating with studios is a very easy way to make your own games through them. It is a very good way to also get paid handsomely. And if you want to make bigger bucks, you can also outsource internationally, right? You're saving them money, you're helping international clients. And India has been growing very well in the outsourcing demand. But do understand, challenge gets a lot higher in that level, okay? Which brings me to the next stage, which is of course the challenges. There's a very huge expectation for you as an artist, and the competition is very hard. We have many great artists in India and one of the finest in the world who are looking for the same position as you, right? So all of you guys are competing with them. Competition is huge, so you have to stand out. We have limited resources to go by. With so many people to go around, we have very limited resources, both in employment basis and educational basis. For the employment basis, I hope in near future it changes. We create more paths and more opportunities for people to come in. Then we have a lack of collaborative approach. So I very much admire Brazilian people for how they collaborate among each other. If you have seen any Brazilian artists on ArtStation, Instagram, everywhere, they promote each other like crazy. That's the same kind of trend we would expect to see in India as well if you want to grow in a much global scale. If you look at a Brazilian artist, what they do, if they get a job somewhere in America in a studio, they bring all of their friends together with them. Right? I have never seen any student work come out of India where 2 or 3 people have worked on a single character to bring it to life. Right? That already indicates that you guys are capable of working in a team instead of your own isolation creating art, which is fine. But if I have to recruit you, I have to understand that you can work in a team, you can work along with people with their own feedback, with their own thought. Next, we have the essential art skills for your success. Alright, so the first one is going to be 3D modeling and texturing, where most of you guys might have started from. It's very exciting to make your own sculptures, to make your own vehicles, terrains, whatnot. Add texturing to it, it's very fun. The second is going to be strong foundation in traditional art. Don't skip out on this. Many people learn the technicality, they learn the software, but they miss out on the strong foundation art because it doesn't seem that relevant to them. What I want you to understand is that it is going to be the biggest help in a long run, right? Your traditional art, your composition, your anatomy skills, your color theory, etc., is going to elevate your digital art by multiple of times. Okay. Then we have animation. You can learn it to supplement your own artworks, or you can learn it just as a specialty. Right? So we discussed already character art and environment art. Animation can be a whole complete universe of its own. Industry software mastery. Learn the industry software, the software that the industry is currently using, whether it's Substance Painter, ZBrush, Maya, and multiple more of these. But more important than that, learn a game engine. You cannot skip out on a game engine, or you cannot expect to apply for a job with only your 3D models and textures. If you want to qualify as a game artist, your asset needs to be in a game engine. Whether you make them playable, whether you make them animate, or whether you just have some textures on them with good lighting and presentation, it needs to be finally outputted to a game engine. Then problem solving skills. So we are technical artists, which means there's going to be a lot of technical bugs along your way for creating your art. It's not only like you're taking a clay, you're making a sculpture. You're going to deal with a lot of these codes which will not make any sense to you. So your problem solving skills is going to be very fundamental for you to get your first job and retain there. Okay? Us starting out, you can just Google most of your problems. Most of them can be fixed with Google. But if you can solve some of these problems that even Google cannot, you're much more qualified. And pipeline knowledge. So know where you fit in this huge orchestra of video games. Know how you interact with other people and where you belong. It's a very nice thing to have. Alright, so let's come to portfolio, which is going to be your face, which is going to be your value. And if done right, it's going to bring you opportunities for years to come, like it has done for me. So your portfolio is the bridge between your talent and new opportunities. So how do you create a portfolio that stands out? Few thumb rules to keep in mind to make your portfolio or craft your portfolio. Quality over quantity and tailor for an audience. Very few pieces done very, very well are much more impactful than dozens of pieces with average quality. The second is tailor for an audience. Multiple of time I see portfolios that have cars, that have character, that have animations, everything for a single person. It is a very messy thing to hire someone like that because it indicates that they haven't found themselves, they don't know what they're doing, and I don't know where to put them in my pipeline, right? So specialize to get into the industry, then become a generalist. Create cohesive pieces and challenging projects. Don't expect to just follow a tutorial, create a piece out of it, and apply for a job through that. Because what you have done, you have copied a solution that that specific guy has created, the guys whose tutorial you are watching, and you have replicated that. But that doesn't add anything towards the industry. That doesn't add anything towards my own studio or any other studio. So start with tutorials. That's a good start. Start with tutorials, follow it one by one, make your own asset. But after you're done with that stage, do something of your own. Do something that nobody has done before. And it doesn't have to be very groundbreaking. All you have to do is take everything you have done through those tutorials, add a little bit of a gist of your own, like just 2 or 3% of masala on top. And then you have your own dish. Use a portfolio website and show breakdowns. Always be mindful not to submit like your Google Drives, your links through photos. Be professional, use a portfolio website and show breakdowns. Breakdowns are very important because they give me an insight how you think, how you created your project. So you are finished with your project, do a little bit of a documentation about that, and if you can do a documentation about it, it's like instant hire. Okay? A well-curated portfolio tells potential clients, studios, and collaborators that you understand both technical and aesthetic demands. Use ArtStation for images, Vimeo for your videos. Alright, so if I was starting today just like most of you guys, if I had 12 months to launch, this is going to be a game plan to go from zero to hero. The first 4 months I would have kept for expansion, where I would be learning everything. So this is what you have to do in the starting 4 months. Learn everything you find fancy, whether it's asset, whether it's weapon, environment, animation, whatnot. Don't discriminate, just learn everything you find fancy. Do keep in mind, this is going to be a throwaway piece. This is something you're only using to learn and then never look back at. During that time, find out yourself. Among all of those disciplines, find out what you find the most interesting, what resonates more better with you, and what you will be happy to do in the coming few years. And start connecting. Already start connecting with the peers, already start connecting with your seniors, industry members, post them on their, add them on their LinkedIn, Instagram, whatnot. What this will do, after this 1 year, because they already know you from zero, even though they might not have seen their work, but they will see what you have done in that 1 year. They will become a reality check for all of you guys. Then month 5 to 10, these 6 months are going to be a focus period. Where you pick one path, oh, that's a switch, okay, that's fine. You pick one path and you specialize in it. So everything that you did in the first 4 months, pick one among that and forget the rest of those. You will only focus on that, you will only learn about that, and you will specialize on that. Start sharing sketches and work in progress online. You're building a digital footprint already. That's going to be important in the later down the line. You can, of course, if some of these feel a little idiotic coming in the coming later, you can always delete them. Then build your portfolio in these 6 months. A single polished piece will do. You don't have to make multiple of it. A single polished piece is going to be more than enough. Now for the last month, which is going to be our 11th and 12th, it is going to be the attack period, where you publish to the public. You have educated yourself, you have done the job, you have built your portfolio. Now it's time to put it out there. Start making breakdowns. Start working on your documentation. What is it that you did in that project? What is it something that you brought new to the table? And already start applying to the studios. And do understand you are not alone. Help is always available. We are all going through the same stuff. We are all going through the same journey. We are all experiencing the same stuff. So you're not alone in this one. Now, navigating the industry and preparing for your coming future. So the game industry is complicated as it's enjoyable. Be persistent, positive, and it will all work out fine in the very end. Have a growth mindset and keep on learning. Network to connect. Look into more opportunities, but more than that, create more opportunities. So this is what I would want from the next generation that's up and coming, is to tell us oldies what are the more opportunities that we haven't explored yet, more routes. So the brave ones among you, I'd recommend stop looking for jobs and opportunities, instead create those. That would be my thought.
Thank you so much for that. Now, we'll take a few questions. Don't be shy. Easier to ask questions. The first, okay, there you go.
Hi, great talk. So I'm like everybody else in the room, I was an artist, and I'm a fresher trying to break into the industry. My question to you is, while I also like converting my ideas and my thoughts into tangible art, how do I protect that from, being misused in the future, especially in large platforms like ArtStation or something?
That is an interesting question. Where we stand with the current trend of AI and how ArtStation is supporting that, it's a little difficult. What I feel about art is that every art that I created was never my doing. Every art that I made was showed to me by the previous artists that came before me, and the same is going to happen with the coming generation. You might take inspiration of some of these senior artists that are sitting there, take their work and create your own. So you can look into that. A lawyer would be a lot better help in that regards. But as an artist, I feel art is not something new, art is close to you.
Thank you.
Hi sir, thank you for this wonderful session. So my question is how to create our own art style. Should we take the reference as an artist? We take many reference right with different art styles and we make it in one. Like so is there any other Is there any other what you call?
Start by following other people. There's a very good book. It's like this square book. It's called See Like an Artist. Very must read. You should read that. What it basically says, every musician start by making a cover art of previous artists. Then they add their own style to it. So start by following the masters that you enjoy looking at their pieces. Start with that. And then, of course, you will have your own individuality that you can add to that. Okay?
Thank you, sir.
Hello.
Hello.
So, as you said, to focus on the quality to the particular art piece while creating the portfolio, while that having a journey of 12-month plan. So, is it that really we need to be efficient to get sustained in the industry, right? To make such particular art piece to be that to retain that quality in a particular time, right? This is how we will sustain in any of the company or any of the studio. So while making those art pieces, we take 6 months, 8 months, but in the real time, like in the reality, the time is the only thing which is like we need to make it in a month, right? Whatever the art piece we are making in 6 months, but in reality, in the studios, whatever the market needs, we need to deliver it in very short time. So how we can come up with that?
So efficiency is very subjective. If you look at some of the smaller studios, they want you to produce everything in a single month. AAA studios might be like 4 or 5 months. They are much more flexible. So in those 6 months, you're not creating only to create. You're also educating yourself, right? You're trying to do something new. So 6 months is a much more flexible time. Ankit Garg did a very great talk yesterday. I mean, he was sharing his Link project. It took him 8 months. Kratos from the current God of War took 1 year for all of those artists to produce. Even Rafael City, including all of these guys, took 1 year to produce that. So efficiency is very subjective. If you're working in AAA titles, they're much more flexible with that. If you're working on indies, they can be a little rough. So that's what we are doing in the first starting 4 months. Figure yourself out. Whether you're fine working for the indie studios or AAA studios, if you're fine with AAA studios, a single character in 6 months is very reasonable. If you want to go for mobile games where you have to like quickly make any characters, make 6 characters in those 6 months. 1 character each month, but make sure you don't compromise on the quality.
Hello sir, it was a very good talk. My question is that how do you transition from like traditional to digital art? Like when is the right time, like when your art skill is right and like that kind of thing.
So if I get this correct, how do you turn your skills from traditional to digital? That's what you're asking, right?
Like traditional to digital, like how when we should pick up a style, so like first we do digital, then we transition into traditional, then into digital, or like what?
You don't have to like pick a very strict phase because I'm not going to do this for 1 month, but you can be fluid with that. Learn both of these simultaneously. They are very interconnected and they will supplement each other.
Hi Saurabh.
Hey, Vinesh.
Thank you for sharing your experience. I have a doubt like, for example, you have been working on a project for more than 6 months or 8 months and you know like it turned out pretty good. And how do you plan to publish it in such a way that it reaches your targeted audience? Because sometimes it happens like you have created a good artwork, but it didn't reach out to much people. Maybe because you don't have already existing audience. So can you share how to publish in a proper way if you have a good artwork?
That is always a tricky thing for artists to do, right? We can make great art, but it becomes hard when we want to find an audience. So Van Gogh in his lifetime never sold a single picture or a single painting. Now he has a very big museum. Everyone's watching his movies, everyone's watching his paintings. But I would rather be a little smart and get people to watch or buy my paintings when I'm still alive. So for that, you actually have to be a little shameless. You have to promote your artwork yourself, like scream out, publish it everywhere, LinkedIn, ArtStation, everywhere you find. And every artwork has its audience. Every audience has their artwork, and they will surely find you.
Thank you.
Okay, anybody here has their own game studio? Okay, आपने कान बंद कर देना, close your ears, because very soon after this one, we're going to have a talk about contracts. So, who here hopes to sign a contract with someone in the game industry someday? Anybody here? Everybody, I'm guessing? Right, right. So there's going to be talk, there's an awesome talk now, but after that, there's another talk about contracts and how to negotiate with studios, how to talk to people, and that is going to be, I think, before lunch, right? So make sure you attend that talk, okay? So, thank you so much, guys.